Sometime during that night, I left my body and I found myself flying through this star-filled realm. And that's all I could call it for years, was just these wonderful stars. They had color to them and energy and flow. They were welcoming. I felt nothing but joy and acceptance, praise. And I was this huge expanded cloud of awareness of something, a huge expanded balloon. And I was just parading through these stars, and I was looking at all of them, and they had these colors, and all I felt was love and peace and a sense of being home. I've said this every time, that it was like a cosmic orgasm.
In 1994, Bill Letson, a fireman captain and already retired forest ranger, experienced a transformative episode known as a near-death experience. One particular night, around 3 a.m, Bill Letson felt like he was leaving his own body. For those interested in the specific details of this experience, let's get straight to the point. Bill found himself in a vast space, surrounded by stars and spheres of colored lights, moving among them. This place conveyed a feeling of freedom and relief. It was as if he had escaped from a dark and cramped place to a welcoming and spacious environment. He described the sensation as extremely pleasant, something that filled him with happiness and made him forget any discomfort. For Bill, it was as if this uninterrupted happiness he was experiencing was a liberation from the difficulties of everyday life. Traveling through this starry space, Bill began to question his earthly identity. He reflected on how he had convinced himself he was just Bill Letson, a man with his own story, likes and dislikes, when in fact this now seemed like an illusion. This moment of self-questioning made him realize how insignificant negative emotions, such as anger and jealousy, seemed in this new context. He was immersed in an existence where suffering and discord had no place, a state of contentment that went beyond mere joy to something deeper and more meaningful. The experience served as a revelation for Bill, highlighting the transience of earthly emotions such as anger, jealousy, and hatred, which simply found no foothold in the stellar realm. He was immersed in a pure existence where pain and conflict were alien concepts, in a state of being that went far beyond happiness as we know it. There is a belief that, to understand the true essence of the universe, one only needs to converse with people who have transcended the boundaries of common knowledge, whether through near-death experiences, shamanic practices, or meditation masters who have achieved a deep level of connection. These individuals, each in their way, have managed to transcend the barriers of the physical world, perceiving themselves as luminous particles of joy, navigating through a dimension filled with the purest essence of love. Therefore, the knowledge they possess is powerful and can completely change our reality, even though it is often difficult to put into words. Throughout the centuries, humanity has explored the mystery surrounding the final moment of life, discovering, to their surprise, a series of intriguing similarities that cross civilizations, cultures, and eras. These parallels, found in ancient and esoteric texts, shed light on the experience of death, a reality as rare as it is complex. Within this vast panorama, the Bible stands out as a fundamental point of reference in modern society, addressing the human spirit, death, and the afterlife. Despite being a source of deep contemplation, it curiously offers few detailed descriptions of the moment of death or what exists beyond. This characteristic is particularly notable in the Old Testament, which includes only a few passages dealing directly with the afterlife. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 19. Your dead shall live, their bodies shall rise. You who dwell in the dust, awake and sing for joy. And the earth will give birth to the dead. Daniel chapter 12, verse 2. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Both passages signal a physical resurrection, likening death to a deep sleep. Interestingly, these biblical narratives find resonance in the experiences of contemporary individuals. For example, some people interpret their own near-death experiences through the biblical prism, such as passing through the valley of the shadow of death or encountering the light of the world mentioned by Jesus. These connections between ancient texts and modern experiences invite us to reflect on the universality of human inquiries about death and what awaits us beyond. The narratives shared through time offer us a rich array of insights and interpretations about the final passage, uniting humans from different eras and cultures in a shared quest for understanding. Drawing, at least partially, on the declaration that Christ was the light of the world, two individuals recognized in this light the presence of Christ during their experiences. One of them expressed, "I didn't see a person in that light, but for me, the light was Christ consciousness, unity with all things, a perfect love." I think Jesus was speaking literally when he said he was the light of the world. One of the most fascinating examples was found in the writings of the Apostle Paul, formerly known for persecuting Christians, until his transformative vision and conversion on the road to Damascus. Paul narrates, Acts 26:13-14. "At midday, O king, I saw in the way a light from heaven, above the brightness of the sun, shining round about me and them which journeyed with me." This event shows clear similarities to the encounters described in near-death experiences, where the being of light, though without visible physical form, possesses a personality and emits a voice that questions and guides. Even without being close to death, Paul faced ridicule and disbelief when sharing his vision. This same vision was responsible for profoundly altering the course of his life, making him one of the greatest proponents of Christianity and advocates for the path of love for one's neighbor. This parallel between biblical descriptions and modern near-death experiences suggests a deep and complex connection between ancient and contemporary spiritual narratives, enriching our understanding of the transcendental nature of human experience. In Paul's reflections on the mystery of the afterlife, he addresses the curiosities and doubts surrounding the Christian concept of resurrection, specifically questions about the nature of the body. How, after all, could the body physically undergo this experience? In Corinthians 15:35-52, "But someone will ask, how are the dead raised? With what kind of body do they come? You foolish person." Paul clarifies this uncertainty by describing the spiritual body, a notion that finds striking parallels with the descriptions of individuals who have experienced being outside their physical bodies. In such accounts, the immateriality and absence of physical boundaries of the spiritual body are emphasized, highlighting an existence detached from tangible corporeal substance. This perspective offered by Paul resonates deeply with contemporary near-death experiences, where individuals report a sensation of unconditional freedom and an existence beyond physical boundaries. The philosopher Plato, one of the greatest thinkers of all time, recognized the existence of dimensions beyond the tangible, proposing that the physical world is fully unveiled only when considered in light of these higher realities. Plato paid special attention to the soul, considering it the immaterial and conscious essence of the human being, with the body serving merely as a temporary vehicle for the soul. This perspective led him to extensively explore the soul's fate after physical death, a central theme in works like Phaedo, Gorgias, and The Republic. Plato's conception of death as the separation of the immaterial soul from the physical body echoes the accounts examined earlier, where the soul is freed from bodily constraints. Plato emphasized the soul's less limited nature compared to the body, arguing that the concept of time, as we know it, does not apply beyond the physical sphere. To him, time is just a shifting and unreal reflection of eternity, indicating that spiritual realities are eternal. This view suggests a transcendental understanding of existence as something that surpasses the barriers of time and physical space. Through Plato's words, we are guided through the story of souls that, once freed, cross vast waters, reaching a new existence after death. This concept is explored in depth in the dialogue Phaedo, where the philosopher presents the body as a prison for the soul and death, consequently, as the moment of liberation. For Plato, death marks the beginning of an awakening, a moment when the soul regains clarity of thought and reasoning, previously obscured by physical life. This newfound clarity allows the soul to perceive the true essence of things. He goes further, introducing the notion of a post-mortem moral judgment, where each soul faces the consequences of its actions, good or bad, thereby emphasizing the immortality of the soul and its constant evolution. By engaging with these narratives, Plato invites us to reflect on the immortality of the soul and the importance of justice and ethics. He emphasizes that a virtuous life has repercussions beyond death, challenging our conceptions of the physical and metaphysical. This invitation to deep questioning about the soul's final destiny serves as a reminder of the constant search for truth and the understanding of ultimate reality, stimulating reflection on the continuity of existence and the true meaning of life and death. Bill Letson's journey, along with the parallels drawn between ancient narratives and modern experiences, invites us to a deeper reflection on the nature of existence and what might await us beyond earthly life. These stories encourage us to live with a heightened awareness of our actions and their impact, not just here and now, but also in the vastness of what might exist beyond. At our deepest core, we might be more than merely physical beings limited by time and space. Bill Letson recorded an exclusive testimony for Wise Quotes, detailing his near-death experience. If you want to know and watch his full story, write in the comments Bill Letson, NDE, and we will publish the complete story.
Okay, we are recording. Hello, Fernando and Wise Quotes. Thank you guys so much for having me on your videos. So my name is Bill Letson. I live here on the central coast of California, and I'm a retired fireman. In 1994, when I was working for Santa Barbara County Fire, I was exposed to a flu bug, and I got really, really sick.
If you enjoyed this journey to the heart of ancient wisdom and modern spirituality, there's much more for us to explore together in the next video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to receive all the latest teachings.